and get inside before she sees you. Chills would run down our spines. I'd glance over at my brother or one of my cousins, wondering if we dared call their bluff. We knew they wanted us inside, but we weren't done playing. One of us would inevitably reply, "It's not La Llorona, it's just the wind." And my mother, without missing a beat, would say, "No, I see her. She's walking on the telephone wires and looking for her children. Can you hear her? ¿Dónde están mis hijos? Where are my children?" It would utterly freak us out, especially if it was at dusk. Fear would overcome us, and we'd run into the house to peer through the windows and look for her. These are my childhood memories in the high desert of San Bernardino County, California, the home of my maternal grandparents. La Llorona, the weeping woman, always seemed more alive up there. There are many versions of her tale. The most common is the story of a jilted woman who kills her 2 children at the river, and her spirit is plagued to roam the depths of the riverbed, searching for the souls of her lost children. Salías de un templo un día, Llorona, cuando al pasar yo te vi. You were leaving the temple one day, Llorona, when I saw you passing by. Hermoso huipil llevabas, Llorona, que la Virgen te creí. You wore a beautiful woven tunic, Llorona, that I thought you were the Virgin Mother. Never in my life did I actually believe I'd have an encounter with La Llorona, but it was destined that one day I would feel her call. You see, I had gone without love in my life for more than a decade. At the age of 28, I broke up with the 4th man I had ever loved. I thought he was the one. I remember the moment when I allowed myself to believe it. And then it ended, and I could not believe I was wrong. My heart stayed energetically entangled with him for another 5 years. And when that final cord broke off, I was determined to believe in love again. But all I could feel was blocked. Ay de mí, Llorona, 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 de un campo lirio. Oh, my Llorona, 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 from a field of lilies. El que no sabe de amores, Llorona, no sabe lo que es martirio. One who does not know of love, Llorona, does not know of martyrdom. I had suffered long enough. I had played full out and failed. Who did I have to become to be worthy of love? I changed my entire image, searching for the winning combination I thought I needed to attract a man into my life. I became the executive director of a nonprofit that supported girls to be the first in their families to receive a college education. I lived in a beachfront home, drove a Mercedes, worked in a fancy high-rise building, wore designer outfits, took a lot of pictures with change makers and thought leaders from around the world. I was now 38 years old and nothing. No love, just event after event, only to go home and wonder, what was I doing wrong? Why had a man not entered my life? No sé qué tienen las flores, Llorona, las flores de un campo santo. I don't know what the flowers have, Llorona, the flowers of a holy field. Que cuando las mueve el viento, Llorona, parecen que están llorando. That when the wind moves them, Llorona, they seem to be crying. Desperate for a cure, I flew to Brazil a week before my 39th birthday. I was going to meet a famous healer and ask him to unblock my heart. But La Llorona had other plans for me. The healer wouldn't work with me. I was denied a session. Seriously! So I was left to search for something else. That is when I met La Llorona. She disguised herself in a cup of what looked like brown, muddied river water. I was told it was medicine, and when my tongue touched it for the first time, my soul instantly recognized its bitter flavor. A part of me inside died that night in her arms. And when I came to, her teachings were already taking root in my consciousness. Alejandra, mi querida, my dear, all of your efforts to find love have been in vain because they did not truly come from your heart. This job, your home, your clothes, your titles, all of this came from your ego. There is so much more waiting for you in life that has yet to be seen. And then she was gone. I flew home from that trip, and the house of cards I had so carefully constructed collapsed. I could no longer live the life I was leaving. I needed to find her again. I needed to be with her. Ay de mí, Llorona, 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 llévame al río. Oh, my Llorona, 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 take me to the river. Within 2 months, I had left everything I had ever known, quit my job, sold my things, scared the bejesus out of all my friends and family, and bought a one-way ticket back to Brazil. I met with La Llorona at the river again and again. I would follow her lead, extending my hands deep into the current for the parts of me I had abandoned, searching for my inner child. It was so difficult to find her. At times, the pain would consume me. I'd get a glimpse, and then she'd be lost again. My inner child didn't trust me. Tápame con tu rebozo, Llorona, porque me muero de frío. Cover me with your shawl, Llorona, because I am freezing to death. The more I walked with La Llorona along the river, the more I began to reconnect to these missing parts of me. She showed me how to commune with nature and immerse myself in its rhythm. I studied the spirit medicine of the animals. I began to pay attention to the stars in the sky. It took 2 years of combing the riverbed before I finally reunited with my little girl. I freed her from the monsters that had trapped her deep in the waters of purgatory and nursed her back to health. I promised I would never leave her side again. I told her that she was the love of my life. And I was so sorry I didn't understand this before. I vowed we would now live life together and wanted to know what kind of things she wanted to do. Dos besos llevo en el alma, Llorona, que no se apartan de mí. I carry 2 kisses in my soul, Llorona, that do not depart from me. El último de mi madre, Llorona, y el primero que te di. The last one from my mother, Llorona, and the first one I gave you. My little girl loves to tell stories. She loves to make blessed rosaries and give thanks every single day to La Virgen de Guadalupe. My little girl kisses trees and takes cold ocean plunges because it makes her feel alive. She sings with the mermaids to the moon and dances to the rhythm of the cosmos. La Llorona, once a terrifying figure of my childhood, now a compañera del alma, a soulmate. I often meet with her by the river, and continue to learn from her teachings. It makes me laugh and cry to realize that whether as a kid or now as an adult, her presence continues to bring me home.